Oh my goodness, what's going on out there YouTube? This is SCL0320 representing JVS. As you can see, I've got my Batman swag, I've got my DC in DC 2018 pin, and I was fortunate enough to be able to not only watch Batman Gotham by Gaslight, but I was actually able to interview a lot of the actors, the producers, writers, and of course the director. Well, I didn't get the director, but it was very interesting experience because this was all done at the museum in the heart of Washington D.C. and like they catered to us so well, and it was like really awesome to engage in the interviews. I'll be posting up the interview information a little bit later on. I'll probably do it either, I guess maybe Monday or maybe Sunday night. I'm not really sure yet, but I gotta say, like, talking to Bruce Timm, talking to Bruce Greenwood, it was an amazing experience. And it's interesting I bring all this up because while interviewing them, I found out that most of the actors hadn't seen the movie yet. And on top of that, like, they were able to keep so many secrets from us that while interviewing, I was like, okay, I think I get an understanding who your character is. You have no idea who these characters really are. And if you know anything about the story, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, you know that it takes place in 1880s. It is basically the premise of, imagine a Batman during that time frame being a detective, think like Sherlock Holmes meets Batman, going up against Jack the Ripper himself. Like, the movie itself, it does cater to, you know, the rated R, in the sense of Jack the Ripper is going around killing women. And like, he is maniacal and he is very like pristine about what he's trying to do. But yet you don't get any real dialogue from him. You just see the actions and like how precise he is. But then you get to see the other side of it, like Bruce as a man during this time in this era. Like, there's like the way that people treat women and the way that women are allowed to do certain things and not allowed to do certain things. Like, you get to see what of Bruce comes out, you know, during that era. One thing I can say about this film is they get every single Batman character that shows up in this in one way, shape, or form. I'm not going to spoil in this. This is a non-spoiler review. They get them perfectly. The only ones that I can really kind of talk about is Jim Gordon, Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle, and that's it. But there are others. There are so many others that I really want to talk about, and they do them perfectly. Like, I was like, this is what this character is. Like, I was able to pick out who the characters were based on the way that they interacted within the world. Not just like getting like random name drops, but I was able to really see how these characters that I know, that I'm familiar with, bleed over into this realm of this world. And I thought that that in and of itself was a masterpiece for something like that, like that's taken out of 1880s and taking Batman, putting him in this kind of era. Like, you know, it could easily go and misfire. It could easily go and like, okay, well, we're gonna like Hollywood it up, like give costumes to everybody. Like, no, Batman has a specific costume that he uses to be able to fight crime, but yet there is someone, an entity out there killing women. And like, he has to figure out how that works. Not only that, you know, everybody else looked to him like, maybe you are this killer. You know, it's not just like, it's the aspect of vigilantism versus a person that's a psychopath. And the movie does a good job of not playing all his cards right away. I did not catch the twist. The twist in this makes this movie very good. It was initially a good movie as an animated DC fan like I am, but this is a very good movie just because of the twist alone. So I guess I'll talk about some of the voice actors. They brought in Jennifer Carpenter as Selina Kyle. She's known for Dexter. She's Dexter's sister in that, but she does a great job with Selina Kyle. Tara Strong is in this. I don't want to say who she plays. She might not even just play one character. I'm going to leave that at that. Bruce Greenwood, of course, plays Bruce Wayne. He was Bruce Wayne in Batman Under the Red Hood and of course in Young Justice, and he nails it. Not just that, him as an actor, him in Gerald's Game, he nailed that. He nailed that. And I even got to tell him that in the interview that we were doing with it. But like, he does a really good job with making this Batman not feel so aged, but at the same as that time, to his core, who he is. And Batman gets like a lot of fish out of water situations in this movie. Like, normally, you know, Batman like has an upper hand in this, or Batman has an upper hand in that. In this movie, all of that gets thrown out the door in a lot of different situations. Matter of fact, it makes me feel more like, think Batman Mask of the Phantasm, like how, you know, he was defeated in a lot of different situations, emotionally, physically, with his, even his own ability, and what people trust, you know, like all the different things that Jack Ripper is putting on him and against him is really pushing weight on him. And I think that Bruce does a really good job of letting that character shine through. And then I gotta give a huge shout out to Scott Patterson. Scott Patterson played the role for Commissioner Gordon. And Scott's been in a lot of different stuff. Like, he's been in Little Big League, was probably the one movie that was like it's a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I actually really enjoyed that movie when I was a kid. I know he was in the Saw movies, I know he was in Gilmore Girls, but the movie that I remember was Little Big League. Either way, in this movie, he does a great job as Jim Gordon. If you know anything about it, like, his look, you know, reminds you of Teddy Roosevelt in the way that he looks. But as a character, like, they do a really good job with Jim Gordon. Like, it really threw me. Like, his performance probably outshined most everybody. So I thought that all around the actors did a great job. The story, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's better you not know anything going into it. I think you should just go in completely blind. I would even avoid trailers so they don't allude anything. I don't even want to tell you not to read the comic, because I didn't read the comic initially. I knew of it. I started reading a little bit of it, and I'll say that based on the beginning of the comic, they're not as clear as to, like, okay, this is where this person's been, this is where Batman is at this point, this is who this character is. They don't like broadcast that, you know, like the comic really does. They really just kind of put you in a situation and you're like, oh wow, okay, this is this character, this is what happens to this character. And I think that based on that alone, I thought this was a great ride. I think this was actually one of the better DC animated films they made. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I actually think that, you know, I would love to give it higher, actually. I think that this movie is going to grow on me because there's certain things that, based on the twist, that I didn't see coming. So it might end up elevating to like a 9.5 out of 10, but this is one of the better animated films. Like, this is right up there with the last one they made, which is the Teen Titans Judas Contract. And they also made the Justice League Dark. Both of those were really great. Justice League vs. Teen Titans, that was really great. The Batman and Harley Quinn was the letdown for me, but this, to me, is like, okay, this is how you kick off a 10th anniversary animated film. That's all I gotta say, and you're gonna probably really enjoy it. Hopefully you do. I'm gonna go and do a little bit more coverage tomorrow because I'm gonna be checking out the Black Lightning. I'm actually gonna be the world premiere of the first episode, or the first 2 episodes. It's gonna be a red carpet spread. Gonna be hopefully able to get some interviews going, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Batman definitely is not stopping, no matter what era he's in. Peace, guys.